Jess here, and today I'm joined with Louie Orbeta. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Glad to be here.
So firstly, how do you strike a balance between innovation and security when it comes to cyber threats?
So it starts with fostering a security-aware culture. So this means that you educate your organization on the effects of phishing, social engineering, malware and ransomware, as well as conducting regular campaigns that simulate these threats. And second, you conduct a risk-based approach where you work with your team in evaluating anything that comes in to your organization. You look at risk as well as how do you mitigate those risks. And another way to strike a balance is you introduce these new projects as proof of concepts. And this lets you find out what the impacts are, not just from a cybersecurity, but also from an IT infrastructure standpoint.
And you just touched on impacts there. Are you able to give a sense of how big of a threat this can be to as we continue to digitalize as an industry?
So, cybersecurity is the second biggest impact in aviation, just next to energy. So, as we integrate more and more, cybersecurity becomes way more important.
Absolutely, and we're using these digital foundations as a real springboard for innovation, so it's really important to protect and balance this against innovation. So when we think about collaboration, how is this a benefit or is it a drawback?
So with collaboration, we're able to leverage the collective skills and experiences of multiple teams. And this strengthens our organization's security posture. And also, we're able to form better relationships with these multiple teams that we're able to accelerate our incident response. And not only are we able to raise awareness, we're also able to discuss or discover emerging threats. And because of this, we're able to develop better cybersecurity strategies.
And knowing how important it is to create security, what should airports be prioritizing in terms of their investments?
Certainly. So, first thing I would focus on is network segmentation. So, this limits the scope of a breach. Second would be identity access management, IAM. So, this covers how do you authenticate a user? How do you authorize access rights? And how do you keep things accountable? Next is endpoint protection. So this covers deploying endpoint detection response tools, EDR, as well as implementing multi-factor authentication. After that, I would focus on incident response plans, as well as filters for your network, web, and email, and this limits the scope of vulnerabilities. And after that, I'd look at vulnerability management. So this is where you scan your environment, as well as how do you find out what to mitigate. And last is governance. Have a governance structure in place. So this needs to be championed, and it has to start at the executive level. And it has to sync with your organization's business plans.
And with technology and these threats evolving quite rapidly, is it possible to future-proof your approach to cybersecurity, or is this something that will always have to be updated?
It's yes and yes. You have to future-proof, and the way you do it. And I'm going to put on my architect hat on. So this means So to future-proof, you, you have to make sure that your architecture is, um, is scalable, it's modular, it's compatible. And second, make sure that it conforms to open standards. And so you look at platform agnostic solutions. And as part of future proofing, when you're deploying these new solutions, these new um, or when you're collaborating with vendors, make sure that it's deployed iteratively, not in a big bang approach that minimizes the impact to the organization. And speaking of impact, there may be a time where the service itself may actually be impacted. So you have to architect for redundancy so that the service is still available.
And if we think about the event now, why is it so important to bring people together to catalyze innovation in the industry?
So I'm coming from both a cybersecurity and an IT infrastructure standpoint. And when I came here, you've got all these different technologies that look into that would form the digital strategy of airlines and airports. So from my point of view, I have to be able to support this new world.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for joining me today and sharing your insights.
Thank you very much.